So, welcome back to the mental hygiene classes. Today we get to open the heart space once again. The yoga culture recognizes each and every one of us is a divine spiritual being and connecting to that higher self which resides in the heart space. If at any time in the practice, if one of the foot falls asleep, feel free to stretch the legs out, shake it out, and then cross it back. No hard and fast rules. If you can't sit cross-legged on the floor, feel free to use a chair, but the key is to keep the spine tall. You want to be comfortable in your final pose. So let's come into a nice, comfortable seated posture. Bring the palms onto the knees. Touch the tip of the thumbs, tip of the index fingers. Close the eyes softly. Use the power of your legs. Push your legs down and lift the spine as tall as you can. And you want to keep this tall posture for the entire practice. Become aware of the breath at the entrance of the nostrils. Start off with the mantra for the heart space, for Kali Yuga, the Maha Mantra. I chant, you listen, and then we do it together after. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare, Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Before we can quiet the mind, the yogis recognize we must first quiet the physical body. Body in Sanskrit is kaya, sthiram, stillness. Kaya, sthiram, stillness of the body. Take your awareness to the right foot from the toes to the heel. The right foot is still. To the left foot is solid. Take your awareness to the entire right leg from the toes, passing the calf, the knee, the thigh to the right hip girdle. The entire right leg is immovable. To the entire left leg, from the toes to the left hip, the entire left leg is stable. Take your awareness to the pelvic floor, the glutes, the lower back, the front of the pelvis. The entire pelvic floor is cemented. Take your awareness to the entire back, from the glutes to the shoulders. The entire back is still. To the right hand, fingertips to the wrist, right hand is rigid. To the left hand is steady. To the entire right arm, from the fingertips passing the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, the upper arm to the right shoulder blade. The entire right arm is immovable. To the entire left arm, from the fingertips to the shoulder, the entire left arm is stable. Take your awareness to the neck is motionless. To the head is completely still. Take your awareness to the whole body and imagine the whole body is like a statue, immovable, stable. As the physical body starts to move into deeper and deeper states of stillness, let's work on quiet the mind, still in the mind. The yogis recognize the mind is a beautiful gift from God, and Our mind has the potential to project into the past, into the memory. So we know how to get home where we live. The mind also has the power to project into the future so we can set goals. The mind also has the ability to stay in the present moment. Liberating the mind into the present moment. Initially, the yogis attach the mind to the breath. The breath is taking place not yesterday, not tomorrow, it is taking place now. Become aware of the breath at the entrance of the nostrils. Try not to control the breath, just witness it moving in and out. This amazing breath has been our constant companion in this life. Ever since we came into this planet, as our incarnation started, out of our mother's womb, the breath was there up to this present moment. Sensitize the mind a little bit more. See if you can identify the slight temperature change of the breath. The incoming breath is slightly cooler. The outgoing breath with the body's heat is slightly warmer. The yogis recognize whenever we inhale, the muscles around the heart get a little bit stressed, little tense. As we exhale, the muscles around the heart relaxes, bringing more and more relaxation in the mind, body, organism. We're going to breathe into our ratio of 1 to 2. Move with me, my pace. Inhale slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale slower, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale slower, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Continue this ratio of 1 to 2 breathing. If 4, 8 is too strenuous for your lungs, decrease it to 3, 6. If 4, 8 is too easy for your lungs, increase it to 5, 10. Everyone has different lung capacity. Your pace without any strain. After you complete the next exhalation, bring the breath back to normal breathing. Perform Khetri Mudra, the tongue lock with Ujjayi Pranayam. Curl the tongue, the sense of taste, the tongue, the sense of taste against the upper back of the upper set of teeth. Maybe the tip of the tongue can go halfway back there to the upper palate. Maybe your tongue tip can go a little further back, and keep it there. And as the air passes the epiglottis at the throat, make a gentle hum with the breath. Ujjayi Pranayam. I'll exaggerate it. Inhale slowly as possible. Exhale slowly as possible. And allow your mind to dwell into the soothing sound of the breath. If the tongue gets tired, feel free to return it to the bottom of the mouth for a few seconds and then curl it back up. Ujjayi Pranayam, keeping the mind on the breath and the sound. After the next exhalation, return the tongue to the bottom of the mouth and move into Mona Pranayam. Mona Pranayam is the opposite of Ujjayi Pranayam, silent breathing. Breathe as slowly as possible and as silently as possible, and allow the mind to dwell into the silence of the breath. Keeping the breath silent, I want you to bring your awareness into the chest region. Yogis call it Hridayakash, the heart space. Become aware of the space between your breastbone and the backbone. Become aware of the space between the lowest rib and the clavicle. And as you inhale silently, experience that the space expands. And as you exhale silently, the Hridayakash contracts. Stay in the Hridayakash with the breath as it contracts and expands as you breathe in and out now. In the heart space, I want you to sensitize your mind a little bit deeper now and try and find your heartbeat. We've been sitting still for a while. The breath has slowed down. It's easier to find the heartbeat. That pulsation, boom, 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 boom. The pulsation comes from the heartbeat, boom, and spread throughout your whole organism to the head, to the toes. Yogis teach where the heart is beating is where the true spiritual being resides. That spiritual being who is hearing my voice through the medium of the outer ear, middle ear, inner ear, eardrum, the brain, the auditory nerve. It's the true person that's hearing me is in the heart space. And from there, you're spreading your consciousness over the whole body, keeping the whole body animated. Yogis recognize that spiritual being who is energizing the heart to keep beating has many beautiful qualities. Of the first emotion coming out of the spiritual self, the eternal being, is love. This is an English word, but this word is trying to describe a powerful force which attracts, pulls us together. This force is all over the universe, and it's within us right here in the micro universe as well. Yogis recognize I am a divine, spiritual, loving being. The love comes out of the heart, and then we spread that love to other living entities through another emotion called compassion. I want you to remember a time in this life when you perform an act of compassion, an act of love from your heart to assist a living entity, maybe a plant, an animal, or a fellow human being with no desire for anything in return. Remember when you did an act of compassion now. Moving back into the memory, I want you to remember a time when you were the recipient of another living entity's love, another living entity's compassion. Remember when you were the recipient of another living entity's compassion now. Moving the mind into the future, projecting the mind into the future. I want you to imagine yourself doing an act of compassion, an act of love from your heart to assist a fellow living entity with no desire for anything in return. Imagine yourself doing an act of compassion in the near future, next few days or next week now. Now bring the mind back into the present moment, back to the heartbeat. And recognize right next to us in the heart space is, yogis refer to it as the Paramatma, the Lord in the heart. From whichever spiritual culture you were brought up with, bring your deity in the heart, hold your deity in the heart. And as you hold the Lord in the heart, you recognize that God loves you so much. And through his love, God has provided us so many gifts. He's provided us with the heart, provided us with the breath, the lungs, the oxygen. Out of love, God provides us with the sun, the moon, the orbit as our earth is spinning around. And you recognize it's not just love, these are gifts out of unconditional love, pure love. Even when we are not evolved, these gifts are still there constantly. Recognizing you're not on this incarnation by yourself. You have a close friend in the heart right next to us. We just have to sit still and listen to the Lord in the heart. Connect to that deity. For the next couple minutes, I want you to just sit quietly, stillness, and just experience that love coming to you every second from the Lord in the heart as you sit with your deity now. want you to now leave the consciousness from the heart space. Now project the consciousness into the mind space, into the center of the eyebrows, behind the forehead. Yogis call it Chidakash. And as you gaze into the center of the eyebrows, I want you to bring into your awareness all those amazing beings on the planet right now who are doing amazing acts of compassion. All our nurses, all the doctors, the scientists in the lab trying to come up with a vaccine. As you hold, maybe you have a family member, a friend, or maybe you just see a passerby who fits into these categories, compassionate beings. Hold them in your mind space now and recognize the love they're working from their heart space. These beings helps our compassion and love to grow, evolve. Working long shifts just to help our fellow brothers and sisters, compromising so much of their health, their family relationships, just to help others. Bring your awareness back to the heart space. Find the heartbeat once again. And recognize that high frequency of compassion and love that comes out of the heart space. As the heart beats, it pumps through all the trillions of cells of your blood, all the layers of cells in the bones, spreads the vibration of love throughout the whole body. Love and compassion are high frequency emotion. They heal the cells, they heal the mind. Feel that vibration as the heart thumps, boom, that prana of love and compassion spreads over the whole body. And that deep vibration, that deep, powerful energy, that magnetic pull, that vibration of love, redirect it this time. I want you to imagine the planet Earth, the size of a softball or a baseball in front of you, about a foot and a half suspended in the air, the planet Earth, 7 continents and its oceans, and redirect your love from your heart to the planet. Choose a color, whichever color comes naturally, see it emanating from your heart and engulfing the Earth planet. Sending your love and compassion to the planet, healing the planet with all the living entities, plants, animals, and fellow human beings. Bring your awareness back into the heart space. And from there, project the consciousness back to your amazing breath. Feel the air moving in and out of the nostrils. And as you leave the heart space and you start to come to the outside world, you want to take that powerful vibration of love from the heart space into our daily life, into the outside world. You want to be an ambassador of love, an ambassador of compassion, like our fellow nurses, doctors, and scientists. Keep the frequency on a high plane for the rest of the day, the rest of the evening. Recognizing, yes, I am a divine spiritual being with this powerful emotion resonating through me. An ambassador of the unconditional love that God gives us. We want to share to the planet. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale slowly. Bring the breath back to normal. Blink the eyelids. Open the eyes. Slowly move the fingers one by one as you come back onto this dimension. Bring the palms to the heart. Lower the head towards your higher self, the Atma, the spiritual self, which animates the body, and towards Paramatma, Lord, in the heart. Thanking each and every one of you for joining us in this space, the Sangha, to help each other to go and connect into that higher dimension in the heart. We have so many beautiful souls practicing with us from all around the planet. Grateful for each and every one of you. Namaste. Lift the head and the eyes. Hari Om Tat Sat. You can switch on your microphones. Thank you all so much. Helping each other to go deep into the heart space. Thank you, Janice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayumi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kinjo.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Mahalo,
much,
Greg.
Cheryl.
Mahalo, Noel. Mahalo, Mai.
Thank you, Yogi. Karen, Washington, New Jersey.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Orit.
Thank you.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Yogi Charo.
Thank you, Juan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shifumi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Bashak.
Thank you.
Thank you, Antonette.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Charu.
Sane.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mahalo, Greg. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, June. Thank you, Jen. Thanks, Maggie.
Thank you, Yogi Charu.
Thanks, Nan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mahalo, Paula. Thanks, Ricky.
Thank you, Yogi Charu.
Mahalo, Visela. Thank you, Zoe.
Thank you, Yogi Charu.
Thank you, Yogi Charu.
Thank you, Raina. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Jeanette. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Noreen. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, Yogi Charo.
Thanks, Marilyn.
Thank you, Yogi
Thanks,
Charu.
Astrid. Thank you, Constantina.
Thank you, Yogi Charu. Haribol.
Well. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you.